States intervened too late?
I think we could have done a better job in making sure that earlier on it was identified who the bad people were, and action by the international community was taken not to allow that to happen.
It turns out President Obama was urged to intervene in Syria much earlier. In a new book, Worthy Fights, former Defense Secretary Leon Panetta writes that in a meeting in the fall of 2012, he, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, the director of the CIA, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs all urged the president to arm moderate Syrians who had started the revolution against the dictatorship to begin with. That might have left no room for ISIS to grow.
The real key was, how can we develop a leadership group among the opposition that would be able to take control? And my view was, to have leverage to do that, we would have to provide the weapons and the training in order for them to really be willing to work with us in that effort.
But with virtually his entire national security team unanimous on this, that's not the decision the president made.
I think the president's concern, and I understand it, was that he had a fear that if we started providing weapons, we wouldn't know where those weapons would wind up. My view was, you have to begin somewhere.
In retrospect now, was not arming the rebels at that time a mistake?
I think that would have helped. And I think in part we paid a price for not doing that in what we see happening with ISIS.
We will increase our support.
Now, ISIS has forced Mr. Obama to reverse himself. The new policy depends on local forces to win on the ground, but many of the available partners are dubious. Syrian rebels fight each other, and the Pentagon figures only about half the Iraqi army is reliable. But at the same time, ISIS has problems of its own. Its advance is running into heavy opposition now. In the north, we found Kurdish troops holding the line backed by U.S. airstrikes.
Thank you, America.
Thank you.
Thank you, Obama. Thank you, American military.
To the east and south, ISIS has come up against the opposing Shia population. Most of Baghdad is Shia. If ISIS has reached its borders, the concern for America now is, what will ISIS export?
When we see these ISIS soldiers on these videos say, "We're coming for you, America," but is that idle boasting, or are they a threat here at home?
I think they are a threat. I think they're as dangerous, as fanatical, as terrorist as Al-Qaeda was. And they have a large number of foreign fighters with foreign passports that make them particularly dangerous to the safety of this country.
How long does it take to destroy ISIS?
I think it's going to take a long time, and I think the American people need to know it's going to take a long time.
It's been a long time already. U.S. forces attacked Iraq in 1991 and were engaged on the ground or in the air for 21 years.
There it is.
The latest effort begins where Lieutenant Mohammed is holding the bridge to Kirkuk. Each American campaign began like a journey on a bridge, straight, narrow, clearly defined, until it reached the enemy.